Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to be reviewing Tremors 1 and 2, and dear God, I forgot about the viewer counter again. Jesus, this is literally a running gag. I always keep forgetting that.
What?
Running gag of always forgetting to put up the YouTube one, the YouTube counter. Oh yeah, you guys can have a drink there.
No, it's okay.
I have blueberry, I have fruit punch, and I also have goldberry.
Thank you.
Thank you.
But yeah, today we're with, of course, BilliePetal and Puganator. We are unable to have Autumn here because her son, I think, got stung by 8 times by bees.
Yes. Yeah, he's pretty swollen and not comfortable.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame her for staying home. She needs to take care of her kid right now.
Absolutely.
But also, if you guys are wondering why I sound a little weird, I think I may have come down with something. We will be doing Fortnite after this episode, buddy. Don't worry.
It's probably allergies because I'm hoarse too.
Yeah, I've been feeling a little off.
Smoke outside.
See, you see it, I do not, and I am on Twitch.
Okay. Well.
There's something wrong.
Sorry, give me a second.
Look, there it is.
What did you touch?
It's a little bit of, there's a little bit of a delay when it comes to the chat sometimes.
You had a message over it, so I X'd that out, and
Okay,
that
I'm
you
sorry.
went back to your.
I'm sorry. Okay, go ahead.
No worries. As you can see, I'm feeling a little off, but don't worry. We'll do a little bit of Fortnite before my next stream. And even for my next stream, I think I may just make it short, just for how I'm feeling right now.
I think this will go fast anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Are we
But
ready?
yeah, Puganator and Billy, what do you guys like about this film? The movie Tremors and Tremors 2. Or how did you first see it?
Oh gosh.
I don't remember how I first saw it, but what I like about it is there's a little bit of humor, and there's a lot of action, and
There's science.
and there's science. It's just
and
interesting.
It's fun.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. There's a little bit of seriousness.
Mm-hmm.
We actually, Mr. Retro and I and my mom had a tradition for, I don't know when did we start that?
We started that years ago.
A long time ago. So Tremors is our go-to marathon tradition. It was once a year we had to get together and binge.
Yep. Pretty much
I don't know
watch.
when that started.
I think it started back when I was
Maybe
13.
13? Okay.
So that was all the way back in 2006.
It's a
It
long
was
running
probably
tradition.
earlier than that, because
What, you think maybe 10?
probably.
Maybe 10. Yeah. Well, I don't know when this movie came out. I don't mean to give it too many years.
Yeah.
But, it was a long time. It's a tradition. I don't know. I think I saw it on TV the first time I saw it. On the local station.
Yeah, same here.
PM. Yeah.
That's how I saw it first.
Yeah. And then
I think it was-
became
It was actually the very first horror film I ever liked.
yeah.
What that thing's
Oh, it's buffering. We have another one in the background just in case, so we could see what's going on and see how it's responding with
Make
the
sure
internet and how
working.
it's been going.
Gotcha.
But for me, the reason why I like this is that, for one thing, the characters aren't dumb. Except only when they're in a total panic.
Right. Which is natural.
Other than that, yeah, exactly. When you're natural, your basic instinct is to run or try to find something.
Or
They're a
help
little goofy, but it's a fun goofy.
They're more goofy in the second movie, I think.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, but not as goofy as they are in, and I'm not even joking about this, movies 5, 6, 7, and 8.
That's very true.
Which I do not own.
That is absolute bull. But the franchise, this show stuck with the 1 through 4.
Right.
I
It ended with
refuse to
some
buy
dignity.
anything past 2.
Trust me, I think 3's, even though, yes, it can be a little goofy, it's a little bit goofier than the second one, but they do bring back a lot of your fan-favorite characters.
They do, yeah.
And actually, one of the character actors for the series, I think it was the mother of
The
of
blonde
dog.
lady?
Yeah, she
And the-
unfortunately passed away.
Aw.
Which is the reason why you don't see her.
That makes
in
me
any
sad.
of-
I like her.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
she
like her
was
too,
nice.
but the thing is that she passed away after the 4th movie.
Oh.
So, and she only got involved in the 1st and the 3rd.
Oh, okay.
And when it comes, and of course, the farmer, he was in the 3rd movie as well.
I thought you got eaten.
No, that's the guy who owned the mart.
Oh, no.
That's
That's
Chen.
Yeah. Walter.
Yeah. But yeah, and of course, there's only a few characters I know of that never returned to any of the movies. Reba was one of them because
Sad.
So sad. I loved
Love
Reba.
Reba.
she was honestly one of the most badass freaking characters you'll
Isn't
see
she
in the movie.
Love her.
And of course, Kevin Bacon, of course, because he was actually working on a few other movies after this one. So it would
Who
make
doesn't
sense
love
why.
Kevin?
It would make sense
Yummy
why
like
he was
bacon.
Oh, thank you so much there. He said, "You're my favorite Twitch streamer and the best streamer ever." Thank you so
Aw.
much, man.
That was so
Aw.
nice.
Thank you so much for that compliment, man. That really made my day. But yeah, when it comes down to it, I really do love the Tremors movies. It almost kind of reminds me of The Thing, where most of the characters aren't dumb. They're trying to figure out how to take
Right,
this thing
right.
out, and also try to keep themselves alive. So it's not necessarily a bad thing.
Right. They're like The Thing, but with humor. Because The Thing
In a
has,
way,
like,
yeah, because the other one was a lot more serious.
Oh,
The other movie
yeah.
was a lot more serious.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So yeah, we also we're gonna go by the same categories like we usually do: story, characters, music, design, and atmosphere. If it was video games, we do gameplay. So
This would make an awesome video game.
honestly, I would love to see a video game made by made based on this movie. I think it'd be fantastic. What?
Oh, I just said she chews on her lips like I do.
I'm chewing on my lips.
Trust me, we
It's
all
a
do.
nervous habit.
No,
It's
trust me,
hard
a
to
lot of people do it.
Okay.
More times than you think. Heck, I even do it.
So,
So we're gonna start off with the first Tremors movie of the two that we watched, and of course we're gonna go into Tremors 2 Aftershocks afterwards. So, and yes, I did technically say that we are gonna be doing a I'm gonna force these two in some way to watch The Fly.
Oh, that movie gave me nightmares when I was little.
Hey, don't worry, I'm gonna watch it with you, and that movie was still creepy in my eyes.
It's so
Well, the
creepy.
original one. The remake was more disgusting than
You mean
anything
like
else.
the black and white, the original?
Yeah, there's the original and then
Yeah,
the
that
remake.
one is actually creepy. My mom made me watch
The
it.
remake,
I give her
the remake, I
nightmares.
definitely know with Jeff Goldblum is just absolutely stupid.
I don't think
That
I've
one creeped
seen
me out.
the original.
It's black and white, and it's
It was made back in the
It's actually
1950s, I think,
it's
1960s.
a little goofy, but it's creepy. It creeps you out.
It was the one that really introduced the concept of mass transformations aside from Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
I'll
Right.
have to look it up.
metamorphosizing and
Yeah,
Me
especially
too.
since it's an experiment gone wrong. Basically,
right. It's a
science.
super disturbing concept.
Mhm.
That's cool.
All right. First of all, what would you guys give your original scores for this one?
I'm going to say a 46.
For the first movie,
Yeah, for the first movie.
I'm gonna say like 49.
All right, so hold on.
One
We
of my
have.
favorite movies of all time.
All right, here we go.
It's a tapestry, B.G. Gardner.
Ah,
It's a halo tapestry.
oh, yep. It's basically
and who got you that excellent
Very
tapestry?
Oh, I
Okay,
don't
would you
know.
calm down? Oh, calm down.
BilliePetal,
you two.
maybe?
Somebody who sure loves you.
For, I think, like, Christmas
Oh,
or something.
oh, come on. Hey, hold on. I show you. I gotta show you
that's
this
true.
before. I
Touche.
gotta show you
yeah.
this.
Touche.
Touche on this front because I just gave her an authentic freaking Harry Potter's wand.
Yes, you did.
So watch it.
You know, those are not cheap because I have a friend that does one.
I know. I got it cheap. Look at this. I got it cheap at a Game World for $30.
You don't get to keep
That's
it,
saying a
though.
lot. I
You
know.
just get to put it on
I know.
display
I
in here
literally.
while I'm here.
I know.
Yeah.
I literally told you this is yours, and I literally stated that I got it freaking at a good
My
price.
friend,
I got
I
it
have a
steal.
friend that does wands, that makes wands, handcrafts wands.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to
they're
actually
so
ask her to make me
expensive.
one.
They're
I
like
want
$200 or $300.
I'll give her my. I have a unicorn hair. It's made out of redwood. It's 12 inches, I believe.
Well, I can
That looks like a nice.
Her husband's him.
Yeah,
I
it
can
does,
give
but
him-
no, this is an actual authentic wand, just to show you guys again. But yeah, this is an authentic wand. Yeah,
That's
he said it looked
Harry's
like a
wand.
knife. But yeah, take a look. It's actually
It does
even
look
as
like
the
a knife on the video.
yeah in the
but
video it does look like it, but it's actually
Super
not.
cool though.
It is. It's pretty
authentically
freaking.
Harry's wand. That's how much
Yes.
Mr. Retro loves.
When it comes to books, movies, and all forms of
BilliePetal?
media, I'm willing to go.
Yes.
I'm willing to go all out on it.
He's a sweetie.
All right,
She's
so
a sweetie.
We're all so
We're all
sweet.
sweeties.
OMG.
all right, so you said your score was 49. Thank you so much for the like there. So you said your score was 49, right, Billy?
Yes.
All right. So
Oh
and
my
yours
God,
was
a
46,
zombie.
right?
Yes.
That's so cute. It was a zombie.
Yours is 46, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna give this one a full flat out 50.
Wow.
In my eyes, this is the greatest horror film ever made, in my personal opinion. Yes, I know a lot of people are gonna give me flack on this one, but I'm just gonna straight up say it. This is my all-time favorite, and
Certainly
no other
was
movies
my
will ever
favorite
top
out
it.
of the ones that I've seen.
It's a weird like conundrum of like it's a mishmash because it actually makes you feel good at the end, which doesn't happen a
In
lot
horror movies of any kind, yeah.
Most
And not
it's
to
like,
mention,
wow, I guess I'll
okay,
do
here's
this
another
now.
thing. There's also a lot more survivors this time around.
That's true. That's true.
And it's because they play it smart.
They did.
Even in The Thing, there's only like one survivor, and most people know the ending itself, and it's left ambiguous. No one really knows if he survived or not.
Good movie, though.
Oh, I love that movie.
I know, me
I
too.
love
We
the
are gonna
remake,
have
too.
I think we should do the
Remake.
original and the remake, honestly.
Oh, totally. I would totally.
I
'Cause I would
believe
totally do
I
it.
have the
Remake, not the original.
remake.
I have the remake as well.
I don't know if I have the original.
I'll have to look up the original, honestly. So, yeah, we're going to be doing the...
Yes.
Alright, so we're going to do an original versus remake of not just The Fly, but also The Thing.
Okay.
Or, known in the original movie, The Thing from Another World.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, that was the original title of not only that movie, but also the book.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, it was originally based on a novel.
Oh,
Hey,
that's so
Master
cool.
Chief, good to see you.
Yeah, how you doing there? Yeah, and if you guys do know, yes, Master Chief 2011 and Puganator2020 are married. And they are basically my parents.
Ooh la la.
We're special.
Well, again, first of all, Puganator knows more about horror movies than most people I
That's
know.
very true.
Which is actually saying a lot for her repertoire of horror movies that she has a collection of. BilliePetal is more into the fantasy genre in this
Okay,
case.
Thank you. Thank you for noting.
And as for me, I'm more of a video game person, but over the years, I've gotten a real appreciation for movies.
Absolutely.
And yes, including horror.
Well, you
which-
taught us how to look at movies from a whole nother angle.
Trust me, with the way my mind works is that I have a tendency of taking a look at all the details.
Oh.
So,
One
makes
little
sense.
tidbit.
Yeah?
When BilliePetal eventually goes over to Australia, we were thinking about videoing her in for our things.
Oh, that'd be good.
Yeah, that we can still do it together.
Did you want... Alright, before we do the actual review, what'd you want to do? Discord or did you want to do Skype?
I have absolutely no idea. You're
Discord-
gonna have to teach me.
Well, with Discord, it's pretty easy. All you have to do is just start up a call by setting up a chat. Then you press the call button. Then you just wait until someone answers.
Okay.
You can even do video calls on it while in the middle of an actual call.
Have a great day, B. Gardner.
Hey, you have yourself a great day, man. And oh my god, that is a lot of smiling faces.
Oh, that's so
Dear
sweet.
Lord, that is a
Right
lot.
back at you.
Alright, so, alright, so I just need to... Yeah, I'll have to look up a way to help you out with the whole Discord thing, but
Yeah,
I
we'll
think it
have
should
that all
work.
set up before she leaves.
Yeah, but yeah, it's hard to believe though. Actually, did you know that in the third movie that Mindy, she actually returns?
The same actress?
She's
I love
older.
Her. She's Alexis from Jurassic Park.
Which movie are we talking about now?
We're still doing Tremors, but
Oh, you
Mindy
mean the little
was-
girl with the blonde
Yeah.
hair?
With the
Yeah,
I
her
was
name is
gonna
Mindy.
ask
She
you-
was actually in the movie. I think she was
I
in
was
the
going to
later ones,
ask you
too.
if she was if she ended up going
She
on
did return.
Okay.
Is it a pongo stick? Is that what it's called?
Pogo stick.
Pogo. Pongo.
I
yeah,
know.
yeah.
I've
Pongo.
used one.
Wow.
I've
That's a
used
Disney
one.
reference.
Very fun.
Excuse
Just
me.
watch out. You make sure you wear a helmet because there's a good chance if you do slip, you're gonna hit your head. I should know. I actually
I love
did.
pogo sticks. Those are fun.
It looks like fun.
It is. You've never been on one?
You never built one?
Oh, it's
No,
fun.
no.
Okay, we're gonna have to get you on a pogo stick one of these days. So you at least have the experience of knowing that you got to be on one.
I can't do
And
more
the
than maybe
bruise.
3 or 4 Boeings at
Oh, I
before
could do.
fall off.
Oh, I could do at least about 50. That's how good I was back then. But again, I was also better at that than bike riding back then as
I
well.
just want to
So.
try because so I can say I have boinged.
I have Boeinged.
All right, so. Oh yeah, I think I remember. Who that person is. I think her name is.
The girl, the little girl?
No, her name is Ariana Richards. That's Mindy. I'm trying to figure out her mom. I'm trying to remember who that is. I think it's. Oh yeah, Charlotte Stewart.
Oh, okay.
Oh wait a minute, no.
Smiley face.
Wait a minute, I think she's actually still alive. Wait, she is?
Wow.
Yeah, that's really weird. I thought she passed away, or maybe it was a different actress.
I think she's.
Oh
not
wait,
in
no.
in the
Walter,
movie industry
the
anymore.
person who played Walter Chang, Victor Wong, passed away in 2001.
Oh, is that
Makes me sad. I love him. He's in,
He actually died
Big Trouble
three-
in Little China. He's in so many movies.
He
I
actually
love him.
passed
the
away.
guy that owns the little shop?
Yeah, Walter.
Okay.
He actually
Yeah,
died a day after 9/11.
Oh wow,
Wow.
that's horrible.
Yeah, but Tony Gennaro, who plays Miguel, he returns in the third movie.
Oh wow.
Old Fred was played by Michael Dan Wagner. He unfortunately died in '93.
Oh.
So I think just a little bit after this movie came out,
Doesn't
I think,
he
yeah.
die in the movie?
Yeah,
The
he
first
unfortunately
one?
does
Yeah.
die.
Is he the one that gets sucked down in that car?
In the stupid why?
No,
The laser
no,
energy.
no. He plays
Lays
Old
on a
Fred.
tire.
He's the
Oh,
one with
okay.
the herd of sheep and
Oh,
gets
oh,
completely buried.
okay.
Who's the one that lays on the tire?
That's who he's talking about.
No, that's not him.
No, Fred's
Oh, I
the-
thought you said it was the one that laid on the tire.
No, I
No,
said that.
that's not him.
I was wrong.
Also, Dr. Jim's the one who gets dragged under.
Oh, okay, okay.
And his
Oh.
wife, I think, is played by
was
someone
so
else. I think.
sad.
Yeah, that was sad.
That's
right from
shocking.
the get-go, yeah.
So like, bam!
Yeah.
Everybody's eat it, and what the hell ate them? You know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
That was
was
a great
that was
moment.
a good beginning.
hmm I
Yeah,
never forgot that actually,
yeah, me
because
neither.
then when they like dig the what is that called? The light, you know,
Yeah,
the headlight
yeah,
out,
yeah.
and you see it, you're like,
Yeah.
holy moly, it
Yeah.
ate a
Yeah.
car.
Yeah, I know.
Yep.
I remember that. That was a very
That
very
scared the crap out of me
phenomenal
when
part
I
of the
first saw
movie.
it.
Yeah. All right. So now that we're done discussing all that, time for us to get started. Honestly, it's a good thing. It's actually kind of good we did the whole discussion thing because I really wanted to know how we were going to be able to do the whole three chat thing, which means you are going to have to be on camera.
No.
You
Why?
have to because it's going to be a Skype call or something. If it was Discord, I say you could still do it
Okay,
without
we'll
the
do
camera.
Discord then.
All right.
Because we ain't getting me on camera, mister.
All right. So let's start off with story.
Okay.
I personally love the story in this one. First of all, it seems like any unassuming movie. You start out with meeting our two main characters, of course, Valentine and Earl, those two.
I give it a 9. I think the story is really good.
It's quite original.
It is.
I really love how. When
So
they
why give it a
introduce-
9 though, not a perfect 10 or something?
Because I think that little tidbit of corniness for me, because I'm like a really big horror fan,
It's distracting.
it's distracting. But I think I do like it though. I mean, a 9 out of 10 is pretty good.
True.
That's true.
You know, for me.
What about you?
I'm gonna give it a 10 because it's one of my favoriteest movies ever.
Yeah.
The story itself, and I'm going to give it a 10 as well, but here's the thing. I love the story in this one because it is one of the more unique stories for a horror movie out there. Most films don't normally try to go down the route with an earthworm, basically.
Right. It's the most random.
It's definitely
I don't
interesting
like
to say the
worms.
least.
Longoliers. It kind of reminds me of Longoliers
I
or
don't know
whatever.
what
It's
that
Stephen
means.
Hey, it's up
King.
to you, man.
Stephen King. Longoliers. You've never seen that?
Oh God, the Langoliers! No,
Langoliers,
What?
yeah. It's a Stephen King book and movie.
I hate that movie so much.
Much.
Okay, first of
No,
all,
first
no,
grade.
hold on. First, it's a miniseries, and two, it sucks.
I didn't think it sucked. I thought it was interesting.
Trust me, the Stephen King miniseries, it is much better than that.
But basically, it's like they
Basically,
go up in
there's
a
these
plane and they go through another dimension.
No, they just basically go back in time, and basically, you see these little,
I think it's
basically testicles with mouths start
It's
eating
more-
up all of history.
I
That's-
think it's more they go forward in time, not back in time.
It's absolutely weird. I don't even care. I swear to God, I know that I know that someone's.
String.
You know what the sad thing is? Someone actually asked me to review this particular one, and I'm a little scared.
When did it come out? What year was it?
I'm
Is it
trying to
like
remember.
80s? Goldie?
I think it was the
From the
80s.
80s.
Hold
So
on,
it's
give me
like
a
a
second.
testicle that eats all of history. Is
Basically,
what you're
yes.
saying?
Well,
That is fascinating.
okay. I'm gonna look it up and I'll show you what
I'm
it is.
so confused and
I may
disturbed.
even have. I don't know if I have.
There,
the
The
book.
Langoliers came out in the year 1995. Oh, Jesus Christ's sake.
Oh, B. Gardner, you're so nice. How do you say?
Okay.
Ozenstring? Hello, Ozenstring.
That makes sense why they look as bad as they do. But yeah, wow, what a weird no.
I thought it was a good movie. Okay, never mind.
Let's
Let's
just
go on.
concentrate on the Yeah, let's just.
Tremors. Tremors.
Yeah, thank you.
Sidetrack.
I just
Focus.
No, it's more like I just really don't want to talk about that movie. Eventually, I will in time, but not now. Not with how much
Could
I
it
hate
be
that movie.
remade now and like be taken seriously, or is it
No,
just so far
no,
off the
it
wall?
is so far off the freaking wall.
Oh, okay.
It is basically in
Talking about
another
Tremors.
dimension for how bad it is.
Yes, we are talking about Tremors, the underground worm thingy.
Yeah, how you doing
Yes.
there, Austin String? But yeah, Tremors originally was released in 1990 of all things, and it did incredibly well for what it was worth. It was what the.
Ooh.
Oh, thank you so
Oh.
much. Oh, thank you for the gifted sub there, Master
that
Chief.
was
He
so
just
sweet.
gifted sub to B. Gardner.
That
All
was
right.
nice.
Yep.
We are trying to talk about Tremors, the underground worm.
Yeah.
We're trying,
get
but
there.
We're not doing
everything
very
has
well at it,
We're
but
all like, "Ooh, look at squirrel."
yeah. We're very
But yeah, we're all over the place today. But basically,
ADD much?
first of all, I do like how the story. Basically, you don't know what's happening at the first. You think it's just an unassuming town. Things are just going as usual.
Town?
Right. Blip.
Yeah, Blip is more like it.
Oh come on, it's like Toke.
It's funny
remember?
because that's true. No, it's worse than Toke.
Yeah, it's worse than Toke, but you have to
Who
admit
would live
though,
out in the
Why?
middle of nowhere like that in
Why?
the dust and dirt?
I would.
And
Oh
nastiness?
no! See,
I would. Hey,
mean,
Nothing
it
to
means-
do.
Can you imagine how
Hey.
bad the Wi-Fi is, Mr. Retro? Focus.
And you
Seriously.
never know. It could be pretty good
Not
if you
even.
know.
We couldn't live there. We couldn't live there.
But yeah, if you take a look though, yes, it's a blip, but you have to admit it's a very nice town for what it is.
Yes, it's
And
fun.
not to mention it's a town that everyone knows each other.
Yeah,
so
That's true.
It's fun.
You have a
It's
good
fun.
community
The
here.
community is really
Yes.
endearing.
Yes, it is.
I'm still confused though as to why they would live in the middle of freaking nowhere.
Yeah,
So-
I agree.
It's
Well,
not
first of
real
all, you
pretty.
already know what the Gummers are already doing at that
That's
location.
true. They're avoiding the
May-
government.
More, actually, it's more like they're just preparing themselves for World War III, which,
Right.
spoiler alert, doesn't happen.
Apocalypse, it's like they're, what are
They're
those?
preppers. They're preppers.
Yeah, doomsday preppers.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But other than that, though, these two are, and of course, we're talking about both Bert, who is played by Michael Gross, and Reba McEntire, who plays
Reba.
Heather.
Love Reba.
Oh
She's
god,
a
she's
badass.
amazing. I love her. She's amazing. One of my favorite actresses as well as
Absolutely.
singers of all time.
Absolutely.
But for what it is worth, though, you see that each and every one of them has their own little quirks, their personalities. Walter is very much someone who will take any chance he can get to get money and try to get publicity for the store that he runs.
That's true.
Miguel is a very kind-hearted spirit who is very much loves the townspeople, wants to make sure they're
He's
okay.
so sweet.
Yeah, he is.
He's so
Then, of
sweet.
course, we have the little delinquent shit.
Oh,
that
yes.
Melvin.
Melvin, the
You
little fucker.
bitch.
Yes.
Played by Robert Jane, by the
What
way.
is Tremors Collars?
Collection.
Collection?
I
Ah.
think it's supposed to be collection.
Okay.
Yeah, it's basically yes.
Oh, the whole
yeah, he
series?
has the Tremor collection.
All of them. Oh.
Yeah, and
wow.
just gonna let you know, yeah, there's technically
Master Chief is
8
the
movies.
one that sent you the gift sub. Or gift
Yep,
me
um,
sub.
Well, I was going
yeah,
to the
Master Chief
bathroom.
actually gifted you a sub, buddy. But when it comes to you really like the townspeople. They're all very most
Endearing.
of them are pretty kind-hearted and
Yeah.
endearing.
They are. They're great
Even
people.
even Melvin, for how
Melvin.
shitty he is, he does have his moments where you actually see him
Towards
concerned
the
about
end.
others.
Right.
Towards the
He's
end.
a teenager.
And in a way, he actually does want to step up and help,
He does. He does.
which is more than I can say for most characters like him.
He's
so,
a teenager. What can you say?
I think he must have ADHD.
Yeah.
Imagine how bored you would be, in that little place.
Oh yeah, that's
I
why
would
he's
go
a shit
insane
disturber.
and be.
Not to mention
just
he's-
as
that's
obnoxious.
why
not to
he's
mention
a
he's
shit
living
disturber.
on his own.
Right. I would be obnoxious. That's fine.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Of course, the mother and daughter. You can't forget those two.
Totally.
And of course, we can't forget the doctor and the missus.
Yes.
Them trying to build their home a little bit outside of the town, but closer to one of the bigger cities.
Ozen
Right.
String wants to know if he can join Discard.
Not in this particular case, but I will do a review with you one day where you get a chance to join in and actually hear your thoughts. But mainly, it's just us here. That's just how it works. But don't worry, I actually have a plan for you, my friend. I have a plan. So you better be ready.
There's a plan. There's a plan. Beware.
When it comes down to
yeah, beware.
when,
Ozen's stream,
I will let you
beware.
know after the stream, okay? But when it comes down to it,
Who, me?
yes, you. But and it starts out normally, and then right as soon as that happens, they eventually see Edgar
Right.
up on that tower. Originally, when I first saw it, I'm like,
That was
He's
dark.
like the town drunk, isn't he?
basically
Yeah,
he's the town
yeah.
drunk, and I'm thinking.
Trope. Oh, look
Yep,
at that.
trope.
However, this one actually kind of makes sense for the area they're in.
That's true.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you. Actually, I'll take a Ricola.
I really like the very
Ricola.
opening scene between Val and
Yeah, I actually can do the tone.
Sorry.
Damn it.
between Val and oh my god, I forgot
Earl.
his name. Earl. Excuse me. Jesus.
What's wrong with you?
I don't know.
I know this
Maybe
movie
I'm
like
having a
stroke.
stroke. I love how they're like Val has the cigarettes and Earl has the matches. You know what I mean? It's just
The
so
lighter,
like they're
yeah.
both like kind of useless on their own, but when they come together, they make a great team.
Pretty
And
much, that's just
like
how
the
they are.
First 5 minutes of the movie, and I feel like it really like sets the tone for their camaraderie.
Yeah, not to mention, yeah, as soon as you drive over, you're like, oh, great, so the town drunk's basically stuck on a tower. They're going
Right.
to have to rescue him.
I
Only
love-
to find out the dude is not only dead, but he died of dehydration of all things, which is a real-life way to die.
It's horrible. I love though that they don't hesitate for a second to help everybody that they encounter. You know what
Even
I mean?
though they do
Even
wanna
though they're
leave
all
the town.
dead, basically. You know?
Actually, for them, it's more like they just want to leave town.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because...
but they stop. But they like stop and they help everyone. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Even
they
though they're-
chose to
even though
go
they're
back
trying
and
to
help.
leave, you know, it shows like
Trying,
how good.
yeah.
It shows that they're good people.
When it comes down to... Oh, yeah,
Oh, I like Starship Trooper.
That's a fun movie.
Oh yeah, Jurassic Park,
Yep.
Titanic.
honestly,
Oh, yeah, Jurassic Park.
for what it's worth, though,
Have fun
yeah.
at Hershey Park.
Yeah, toodaloo, Gardner.
yeah, have fun, man.
Nice to see you.
Man, that's awesome. I would love to go to Hershey Park, but
What is Hershey Park?
I don't know.
it's over in Pennsylvania. It's basically
Is
where...
that Hershey chocolate?
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Chocolate.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Yeah.
When it comes down to it, yeah, you see Edgar, how he dies, and you're wondering, what the hell could have happened? And not to mention, you notice he's also holding his Winchester rifle. Something must have freaked him out enough to get up that tower and stay there.
Right. Exactly. It's terrifying, the idea.
Yep, and then of
Someone
course,
would kill themselves.
there's the
avoid
scene where
something.
where they drive off, and they're gonna usual.
Mhm.
They're gonna head back into town to let people know Edgar's dead. Then they find old Fred's place. And after you already saw a scene of him being dragged down, you're wondering what could have happened.
Right.
And then, of course, and this did freak me out the first time I saw it, when they lift up the hat and see his head.
Yeah, that was
Oh
icky.
yeah, the face.
I was
so
like,
gnarly.
Jesus!
I love Val's reaction to that. It's like, what the hell's going on? You know how like
What the hell's
like,
going
jerks
on?
around and like just. I love how he kind of throws a fit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, He's very dramatic.
He's very dramatic.
And then, right as soon as it goes right into the scene where Miguel and Walter are talking about what happened to his cattle,
Right.
because some of them unfortunately went missing. Spoiler alert, they're dead.
They've been
They-
dead.
Val and Earl both busted in through the door to try to use Walter's phone, and of course, even of all things, Melvin of all people is freaking out over the fact that Edgar and Walter are both dead.
Right.
Sorry, Walter and not Walter. Edgar and old Fred are both
Right.
dead, and even Bert and even though everybody in the town is basically like, you gotta get the police up there and something.
Right.
They know, get law enforcement. Maybe they can help them out with finding out what's going on here, which
Right.
again is a smart idea.
It is. It's kind of terrible though that they have to rely on their communication is so cut off. From,
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, here's the next
That's
scene.
like a risk that you take living out in the middle of dumb effed nowhere. You know
Do you
what I'm saying?
remember the scene where the construction workers get killed?
Yes.
Those two, and here's the strange thing. One of them doesn't even believe him. The other one arms himself.
Right.
He is ready to face down whoever's trying to kill him.
And he still buys it. That's
Unfortunately,
so sad.
it is sad that he unfortunately does buy it, but, bite the dust. But you have to admit, he was much smarter than his friend.
Right, he was.
And the only reason why he went after him is because he was concerned.
He reacted good. He had a quick reaction. As opposed to standing there like, what do I do? What do I do? He's like, I know, I'm going to get something to stab whatever this is. You know?
Yeah, basically.
Proactive.
Think on your feet.
Bam. Yeah.
Causes the whole avalanche. And, of course, we then get to see one of the tongues from the creature. And I originally thought that was the thing. I'm like, wait, really?
No kisses.
Good Lord. And it was really interesting, but...
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember that.
Yeah, I remember that. Basically,
That was so dark.
I remember... Yeah, and if you see that when the entire town looks at this thing, they're trying to figure out what it is. And you can tell they're trying to figure out what might have caused a mutation or something, or
Right.
what could possibly be there. So it's really interesting. Then, of course, we go right into the scene when they go riding off into the sunset like most Westerns movies normally do. However, in this case, it's mainly just a time jump to where they eventually find the creature and it busts out of the ground. Spoiler alert, that's actual animatronic work there. That is insane amount of animatronics, and we're going to get into the design later, but...
Evil laugh.
Jesus.
I like the evil laugh.
Oh, you mean like this?
Yes, like that.
Pretty
But-
much.
Yeah, but I love how when the creature emerges, when I first saw it, I was like, what a cool freaking monster. Especially since it's basically an earthworm.
Right. It's pretty spectacular, the design, because it's creepy as hell.
I don't think it's like anything else we've ever seen.
Yeah, you can't think
It's
of any.
original.
It's very original.
And of course, I like how they figure out a way to kill that thing, yes, on complete accident at first, when it runs into the freaking cement wall.
Right.
That was also filled with rhubarb. And I remember Val's... Rebar, yeah.
Rebar.
Basically, I love...
Rhubarb is a vegetable.
Yeah, sorry. But, yeah, I'm sorry about that, guys. But I remember
Rhubarb.
Val's reaction, he was
Rhubarb,
basically...
Right?
Rhubarb.
What did he say? Rhubarb.
Rhubarb.
What's the... Rhubarb is that metal
is
stuff, right?
It's a rebar.
Rebar.
It's called
Rebar.
rebar.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Basically,
We're so in construction.
I love the reaction for Val. He's like, wait, we killed it. We killed it. And he's literally just shouting at this, like, fuck you! And he, just to show a little triumph. But then, after they finally start digging up the body, they see how huge this thing is.
Shocking. It's shocking.
I'm like, Jesus, this thing's huge. This thing's the size of a freaking semi-truck. I was very surprised at the size. And I love how they use everything at their disposal to figure out what it's trying to do, how it thinks, how it...
What's her
after
name?
they get
Rhoda?
trapped.
Rhonda?
I think Rhonda, yeah.
Rhonda. I love her character. She's
Reba?
great. No, Rhonda, the girl that...
Her name
Val,
is,
that Val has a little thing with, you know?
That's
her
geologist.
character's name is,
Yeah.
I think, Rhonda LeBeck.
Yes.
Yeah, I like her too.
And
I
she
love
is
her.
played by Finn Carter.
Yeah.
She's great.
I like
She,
her a lot better than the love interest in the second movie.
I know, but I appreciate the love interest.
Oh,
in the
yeah.
second.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
Earl.
I do.
Finally
Earl
gets
needed
it.
some play.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I totally
He needed
agree.
some play.
Totally.
When it comes down to it, though, yeah, because if you notice, and like BilliePetal said before, she stated that they use a lot of science. That it was like when they were on the rock, the only reason why they know they're on there is because the vibrations are causing on the rock.
Right.
That's being sent throughout the ground.
Well, and geology in general is...
A really
They
interesting...
talked a lot about geology.
It's a wild, thing to take into a horror movie. Let's talk about geology.
Which is honestly a really smart idea.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant.
Yeah, it's a really
the
good way to...
worm factor of the monster is
Yeah, you normally
totally original.
Yeah, you normally don't ever really see that in much horror films, actually using pure science to help you in this particular case.
You have to think whoever designed it was like, let me take the most harmless, floppy
creature,
thing that doesn't make nightmares at all. Although I don't like worms, but and make it as creepy as possible. That was original.
I don't really mind anything except for...
I don't like centipedes.
I don't like
worms.
spiders, and I don't really like bugs.
Any problem?
I'm not...
with other bugs.
I'm not like...
I'm fine.
Spiders are the worst, probably.
They don't
bugs
bother me at all.
They don't bother me at all,
All other
surprisingly.
animals don't bother me.
Actually,
I don't mind snakes,
I know I'm
rats,
gonna
mice,
sidetrack
whatever.
here, but there was before we continue on, I actually
Sidetracking some more, yes.
I actually did find a wild tarantula at my school over in Two Rock. I actually put my hand down on the ground. It crawled up my arm. Everyone in the school backed away from me, saying, "What the hell's wrong with you?"
Okay, I wouldn't
I'm
go
like,
that far.
No.
But I don't have issue as long as they're in
yeah,
my
it was
space.
crawling up my arm, and it stopped at my shoulder. I'm like, guys, it's harmless as long as you don't piss it off.
Yeah, I don't like.
And
spiders.
we actually kept the tarantula afterwards, and I'm the only one in the school that was willing to hold it. I'm like, seriously, guys, come on, just grow some balls, why don't you?
Okay, did we already score? Everybody already scored.
We already
for that
scored on story, but we just wanted to talk about it a little bit more. Like, and yes, there are some really horrific scenes of the characters dying in this. Well, Walter Chang's possibly one of the
So
worst.
sad.
I
That was so
actually think
upsetting.
the
I
worst
loved
part
it.
of it is that orange gut stuff that comes out
Oh,
of
the
it.
practical effects.
I don't think the deaths aren't nearly as
You
gross
can
as.
imagine the smell.
Oh,
they did
yes.
such a good job.
Yeah, you can imagine the smell. Oh, just rancid smell.
Just
I bet.
yeah, but still, overall, I love how the characters are, and yes, for them being a hillbilly small town, at least they're smart. They know that they gotta try to survive, keep themselves on the high ground, make sure they keep themselves away of the reach of the creatures.
Right.
Yeah, they're smart.
And when they die, it's mainly because they're in a panic and don't know, and it's not easy trying to get back onto a higher spot.
Yeah.
Especially what happens to one of the characters. He actually, you mentioned the tire. He was basically trying to find any place that could get him off the ground.
That was so dumb.
But that didn't necessarily mean, but they were trying to get him way above the ground.
Hide.
Unfortunately, he was in such a panic and was so tired from running into an area, and not to mention literally falling off the trailer, it was already too late for him.
Right.
I also love the ingenuity of the Gummers. Good
yeah.
Lord. Them unleashing every gun at their disposal to kill the thing was fun.
I like the dynamite myself.
Oh yeah, the dynamite, the
Let's
homemade
just cut
dynamite
the
was
shit
awesome.
And blow it up, shall we? Yeah.
Homemade pipe bombs.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's wild.
Jesus. I wonder if that inspired a lot of the pipe bombs we use nowadays for terror attacks.
And all those explosions of that gutsy stuff, it's like, ugh.
We'll talk about the effects in a moment, but yeah, basically, as you can tell, we love this story, and that's saying a lot.
Oh, Austin String would like you to read what he wrote.
Oh, give me a second.
Ass blaster.
Oh, yeah!
Oh, that's true. He does
Okay,
say that.
technically there are things called ass blasters in the third movie. Not the second. The
I did
second
not
were
see
different.
the third one.
The third one is basically their ass blasters. They literally propel themselves through their butts, and they have wings. So they're flying. However, they're also highly explosive.
Is that like a, what is that called?
Because literally,
Floating abyss.
just have a fire arrow.
Biscuits.
Oh, floated a biscuit.
Yeah, it's not what that's like.
I don't
Basically,
know.
basically when you deal with these ass blasters as they call them, that all you have to do, fire a fire arrow, the arrow gets stuck in its gut and reacts to the gases in its stomach,
Ew.
causing it to explode.
Ew.
That sounds disgusting.
Gnarly.
But, as you can see though, and of course, here's one more thing before we continue on the characters. The funny thing is that Walter calls them graboids, and unfortunately he dies by them.
Oh, yeah.
Killed by his own creation.
He named him.
Yep.
Sucks to be you, dude.
No, he was my favorite. I love Walter.
Alright, now let's talk about characters. Characters are, what can I say, they have a really good cast for this one.
They do. They have a very well-rounded community.
Each and every character has their own personality, their own traits, and not to mention, you do feel like that they're a community.
I'd
Yeah,
give it a
you do.
9.
Like they knew each other very well.
I'd
So
give
you-
it a 9.
Yeah, so you got 9, and I'm still going to give it a 10. Characters are all done incredibly well. And yes, even the stupid one that I've mentioned plenty of times during my streams when we were talking about Tremors, that the only character I thought that made the worst decision of them all was the Doctor's wife.
I know. Poor thing. I really like that moment between them when they're right before they get attacked, when they've introduced you to these characters, and they're like, well, he's like, how about we don't put a roof on and we can just look at the stars, you know? I thought, oh, that's so sweet, and it's so like
Yeah, but
disarming because you're like in their little happy moment, and then they get eaten so bad.
Yeah, that was sad.
yeah, but at the same time, that's also a really stupid thing because, good lord, what happens when it rains?
It was romantic, okay?
Yeah, but at the same time, practically it wouldn't work.
It's very impractical, yes.
Yes.
What if there was a gust? You know what I mean?
Or heck, yeah, a sandstorm would
Get
be even
dust all up
worse.
in your house. It would be terrible.
Yeah, I would. Yeah,
But
so yeah, I see it's
not
romantic,
practical.
but at the same time, it's also impractical.
Very impractical, yes. But a nice character. My character, I'd give him 10.
Yeah.
Because I like them.
And it comes down to what were your favorite characters in this movie?
Oh.
The girl, the
Rhonda?
geologist,
Oh yeah, so Rhonda.
and
They're like the
Earl,
golden trio.
believe it or not. I like,
Val. Kevin.
yes, I
Or
like Val
Bert.
too. I like, yeah, those are my 3 favorites.
For me, Bert and Heather Gummer, easy.
Right.
The other one is of course Val and Earl. Those two are pretty awesome. And Miguel, as well
He's
as of
so
course
sweet.
Walter.
He is
Yeah,
very
yeah,
sweet.
they were all pretty good. It's hard to.
They're all really good.
I
It's just
feel
really
like
hard to
they all-
choose.
I feel like they all blend together
Yes.
so beautifully. Like they're just
Even the
It's a
doctor and
marriage of characters.
yeah,
Yes,
even the
great.
doctor and the wife also get a good amount of character development,
Right.
and they at least are really good.
yeah.
And you feel like they were really counted on in the town.
Yeah,
Right.
it's hard to pick just one because I liked them all.
Yeah, I did too.
The only one that I would say was annoying was the young boy.
Melvin, but you have
Yeah,
to have
but-
it. He's like a trope.
However,
And the pogo stick girl, there wasn't really a lot of
That's
you know,
true. They don't give
happening
her a
with
lot of.
her.
strange enough, she gets more character development in 3.
Oh, that's cool.
That's good to
cool.
know. Yeah. So yeah, no, they all were great though.
True enough. But yeah, it's very rare to have a movie that has a wide range of characters. What in the world?
Girls in
Funny, they're Ozenstring. But yeah, overall, I think it's really well done. Personally, it's
Yeah.
one of those rare movies that you don't expect it to really come out the way it does,
Right.
and it surprisingly does very well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Next, of course, is music.
Oh, music.
Music, I actually love the music in this film.
I would say I'll give it a 7.
What is wrong with you?
I don't really like the music, but you know,
I
I
need
think
to
it's
bitch slap you.
it's like I don't like things that are like too. It's almost like Footloose sounding, you know.
Okay, first of all, Footloose is an amazing film.
Oh, I love
Amen.
Footloose the film,
Get back.
but you know
What
what
are
I'm
you
saying?
talking
It's
about,
the
Puganator?
80s. It's the 80s, like
It does have an 80s vibe.
Remember,
yeah.
it was made in
I
1990. The turn of the 80s just left.
I know.
But here's the thing,
Okay,
though.
okay.
But here's
so
the thing, though.
I'll change it.
Think about it, though. The movie, the soundtrack itself sets the tone for the movie. It's not necessarily supposed to be a full-blown horror. It's supposed to have a little bit of
Yeah,
action
yeah,
and
yeah.
have an inspirational track with
Okay, I'll give it a 48. 48. I'll give it an 8.
it. There you go. I was like, what?
She's enthusiastic about the music. I like how in the very beginning it has this unassuming sort of. It reminded me of like a Italian Tuscany. Like,
For me, it kinda reminds me-
romantic-
Yeah.
For me, it kind of
Vibe
reminds
at
me
the
of an
very
old
beginning.
Western.
It does. It has like a southern vibe running through it. It starts out really unassuming though. It's like sets the mood like everything's cool and calm and like a
What'd you rate it?
hot summer. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm thinking it out.
For me, I love the theme itself because it actually acts almost like their
but I
triumphant
stopped,
music.
Like, it does get really triumphant during the action, but I honestly didn't pay too much attention because I'm so used to this movie that it's hard to.
I
would
pretty
give
much
it
know
like
this
an
movie
8.
by heart.
I think.
8?
Yeah, because it doesn't stand out to
No,
me like
no.
certain
Not
like
at all.
certain other themes
Yes.
like.
I still say it's a
right-
10
Like
because-
Independence Day or
Jaws,
or
you know.
Titanic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or
but here's the
whatever
thing. You're
face.
comparing it to other movies,
I know.
not the genre as a whole, because I'm still giving it a 10 because it is one of the more unique soundtracks that you
It
don't
is.
normally hear from horror movies in general.
I said 8.
Think about it. Look at Child's Play, Scream, and heck, even Friday the 13th, or Nightmare on Elm Street, or Halloween, or Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Do you ever hear a soundtrack like that before?
No, it's very unique to the actual habitat that they're in for the movie.
That's the reason why I'm giving it a 10
okay,
because
I'll
it's
give it a
completely
9.
unique.
I'll give it a 9. Give it a 9.
I'm not trying to change your guys' answer. It's
Somebody here?
Can you peek?
hold on for just a moment, folks. I want to double check what's going on.
It sounds like there might be a truck, and could
be a
your
truck,
AC
honestly.
units.
Austin String is sending you something on Facebook.
Oh yeah, it's FedEx.
Is it big boxes?
I can't tell.
Oh shoot.
Not from my angle.
Okay.
But yeah, I got some deliveries here, so don't worry about it. We'll continue, and don't worry, we're close to the door, so we could just run over there and grab it if need be. But
I'm sure everyone is very concerned that our packages are going to get stolen.
yeah, but other than that, though, the reason I don't want to try to change your score at all.
No, I
and
know.
that's just
You have
my
a good
perspective.
point. You have a good point. It does have a very southern vibe to it, which is very true to the environment that it's being filmed in. So.
Not to mention, it's a lot more of a triumphant soundtrack when you really do see the heroes
Right.
really
I really
get
like
out of
it
the
in
situation.
the more calmer moments. Then you can really hear the southern vibe to it. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
what is that instrument? I can't think of what it's called, but it's like, you know, when
A fiddle. No, I'm just kidding.
oh, Charlie Daniels. No, like when Val and Earl are like trying to think it out, and you can hear the little like in the background. It's kind of. I'm with you. I'm with you.
All right, she's gonna go check the packages and see if. But yeah, honestly, that's the reason why I'm still giving it a 10 because it is one of the more unique soundtracks in horror film history.
It is.
Which is very rare to have an original soundtrack that really hits you right where you want, right in the feels.
Right.
Not just for scares and all that, but to make you feel like that these heroes are going through something.
Right.
And they're overcoming it.
Right.
And it does set the tone.
It
There
does.
are moments where the music actually makes you feel the dread and the absolute despair these characters are going through at
Right.
their moment when they lose someone in their crew.
It is. They do really a good job.
But as you guys know, it's basically that. It's one of those moments where you have a soundtrack that really does fit the movie, and it fits it perfectly for me.
Yeah.
Now we're going to talk about design, and
Okay.
I had a feeling it was going to be that. So we're going to talk about design. I love the design of the creature, and I'm very sorry
Yeah.
if I sound like I'm nasally right now. I'm still feeling a little off, but oh, thank you. I could use another one, especially since I'm still working on this one. Just good to have a backup though, just in case.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love the design of the worm.
Oh
I
yeah.
do too,
It's
yeah.
totally original.
Yeah.
It's totally original.
All practical effects here, folks. That's saying a lot too.
I
'Cause
love
it looks
practical effects.
amazing.
I love the practical effects.
It looks like a real worm that has literally been underground most of its life.
When they explode and they splat and so forth,
Oh,
that is just
yeah.
revolting.
Yeah.
It's hard to make. Even
Yeah.
in the first Jaws movie, there's a little bit of practical effect with the like carnage that's kind of like, that looks like plastic,
Yeah.
you know. This does not. That doesn't
No.
happen with the graboids.
It looks
It's
really gross.
vulgar.
Yeah. And like she said before, like BilliePetal said before, you can almost smell
the
the nastiness just by their descriptive and just everything.
And how they
Right.
describe the
Yes,
smell.
yeah,
Right.
it's just, oh.
I have to admit though, I also like the design of the tongues. And how it
Oh
almost
yeah,
has
they're
a
like the worst part of the creature is the tongue.
yeah,
That's
because
crazy.
I actually think it's a really unique way of grabbing
And-
onto your target and actually
And
bringing
also,
them down.
I think the whole idea of how they
Move.
travel under the ground and how you see the earth, you know.
Oh, the framing of the
Yes,
shots of their
it's
movement
really
through is
very
bitchin'.
interesting,
That's
yeah.
like with going underwater with the shark movies. You know what I mean? The framing is so cool because
Yeah,
you get you're
yeah.
in their environment and
Yeah.
you see their pace.
Yeah, you can kind of almost like feel it.
Yeah, it's
You know.
bitchin'.
Yeah, definitely.
And I like the desolation of perfection. That's really well. I mean, it's hard when you have not much props, not much sets to really set a tone, but they did it really well with,
Yeah.
with the
From what I
production
heard, they
team.
built all those buildings.
No way. That's
Yeah,
cool.
some of the buildings they were actually there, but some of them they actually built themselves. Like some of the some of the shelves and everything to make it look pretty cool
That's cool.
and pretty dang awesome.
Ozen String has something for you here.
Well, this is my favorite
he wants you to
Tremor
look
musics.
on Messenger, but I don't know how you can do that.
Wait, hold on. Does it mean like Facebook Messenger or something?
I don't know.
I'm not sure. I want you to add him.
Oh, I will in a little bit, buddy.
Did we already rate this one?
No, we have not.
Oh,
Actually.
okay, good. Because I thought maybe I missed out when I was getting.
No, we didn't. We didn't score it. We were just discussing.
Okay.
It. I also, I do like the town of Perfection. I think is pretty.
It's very unique.
Yeah, especially
For
since
how
you don't.
little props and how set.
Yeah,
Not to
Yeah.
mention the
They
town
did a
itself
lot
is.
with what little,
set there
set
actually is.
Yeah. They actually had.
Not only that, it's one of those movies where it actually puts you in the middle of nowhere where
You really are.
A
I
lot
kept
of,
asking Puganator, I'm like, why?
that's
would
actually
anybody live
one
here?
of the actually that's
Yeah.
one of the few tropes that I believe will stand the test of time is being stuck in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
Yeah.
All the complications that come with it
Yeah.
when you lose your resources.
Yeah, and not to mention I do like the Gummer House. It looks pretty cool
That does look cool.
because dear sweet
Looks like
Jesus,
a fortress.
It's a fortress.
it looks like freaking Fort
Hell
Knox
yeah.
on steroids. But basically, I do love that. It's pretty freaking awesome. I also like the ingenuity of using the vehicles like the bulldozer and the trailer.
Oh yeah.
That was a
Yeah,
smart
that was
idea.
smart.
That was cool. I like the costumes are so like natural. You don't even really take note. It just looks like an everyday kind of a vibe and perfection. You
Pretty
know what I
much,
mean?
yeah.
They did a really great job.
They could get away with that. I'm sure that their props and all that, the costumes, props and all that, they probably got away with that really relatively easily.
Yeah.
Oh, and thank you, Cutstein, for the follow. I forgot to mention that. So we're now at 390. We only have 10 more followers to go. But overall, the design of the movie is so unique. I gotta give it a 10 again.
I think it definitely has a 10.
For the design of the...
I would say it's a 10. I would, because I think overall that's the one thing I can rate it the most on, because they did so much with the little amount of props and the little amount of, you know.
That you really
Yeah,
are.
it's
You're
like,
in the
wow,
thick
you
of
feel
it.
like you're in there.
Yeah. You can
Mhm.
like
Whereas
feel
that's
the
hard
dust
to do.
going up your freaking nose.
Right,
You know,
right.
getting in your eyes.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Okay.
When it comes down to it, it's
I'll be right back.
interesting to say the least. I personally would love to... I would have loved to see just how far... to see what the movie could have done if they had enough time to...
Put
or
more
if they
money
had...
into it.
That... Yeah, exactly.
But I
'cause
don't think they really. I think they did great, though. You know, I don't think under the circumstances where it was filmed and stuff, I don't think they needed to. They didn't even need to put that much into it.
True. And that's. I'm also taking a look at the box office. That the movie had around $11 million put into this film, and that's actually a pretty decent amount for 1990. And it got $16.7 million in the box office, so it was a success.
Oh yeah.
It managed to succeed enough that it did gain sequels, and each one of them did gain money out of it. So that's definitely saying a lot.
Yeah.
Now, of course, finally, atmosphere. Atmosphere is one of the key parts of a film, of any film, basically. And when it comes down to this movie, I feel like it really does fit the tone it's supposed to. It's supposed to be a little bit lighthearted when it comes to its characters. But when you see, but that's also why that when you see them get killed off one by one, you feel the dread.
Yes.
You
Well,
feel
and the
like
character.
everything just went south for these people.
The characters are endearing too, so that makes it even more so hard to see.
True enough.
Yeah.
It's very rare for a
killed off.
film. It's very rare for a film to actually do something like that, and it's surprising just how far these guys went to make these characters not only endearing, but made you feel their despair when these characters started getting picked off one by one.
Mm-hmm.
But you also saw their ingenuity. You saw all the creativity, what they did to survive in order to be able to continue moving forward. It's more than I can say from most horror movie characters who often end up dead because of their foolishness. So,
I give it a 9 myself.
you're going to give it a 9?
Yep.
For atmosphere.
Ooh. I'm gonna give it a 10.
You're going to give it a 10?
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a 10 as well. It fits the tone it's supposed to at this particular point.
Actually, change mine to
It's
a 10.
stressful.
So
You're
yours
right.
10?
I think you're right. It's pretty straight across the board. You know.
All right, so I am doing the math right now. Let's see.
It's probably the smoke outside.
Yeah. There's a lot of
Making
smoke
it
outside
worse.
from the fires.
I'm not surprised.
Absolutely.
That's probably what's going on with your nose. What?
Wow, I did not expect this.
What?
Your score was 46. That's what you got.
Really? Oh, see, I thought it was gonna be
49
higher.
was yours. You matched it.
Oh, that's crazy. We
Nice.
never
50
do that.
was mine. Matched it.
Wow.
We never do that.
That's
No.
a shocker.
We never do
Yeah.
that.
We actually got our scores right on the money. That's a first.
Yeah, that was good. That's crazy. I
Well,
thought mine was going to be a little higher.
you
Really?
thought it was going to be a
Yeah.
little higher, but surprisingly enough, your points actually matched
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Okay.
All right, when it comes down to, we do Retro Evolution, but we're going to wait until after we do the second one. So, next is Tremors 2 Aftershocks. And honestly, I think it's a pretty decent sequel for what they got for the series. I think it's still pretty freaking good for what it's worth. I thought it was pretty good. What about you guys?
The movie, say that again?
Tremors 2, what did you guys think of the movie?
I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was better than, I think you kind of, at first you were like, you didn't really like
I'm
it.
not wildly fond.
But I actually liked it a little bit more than you did.
You do.
I think.
You do.
So I was really surprised.
I'm on the fence. I'm gonna say I'm on the fence.
All right, so
Yes.
then what would you guys say would be your overall scores if you rate right now?
Well, I'm still probably am going to say about a 46 because I like it fairly equal to the first one. Maybe the first one I could have scored a little higher. But yeah, I'd say 46.
What about you, BilliePetal?
35.
Ooh, ouch.
Jesus Christ,
Sting.
do I have to backstop you upside the head like
It's
Gibbs
just
does?
my
Who's-
opinion, Sorry.
I'm gonna give it a 48. It's not all around a perfect movie, but it's still pretty good for what it was for me.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
So,
Story's pretty much the same.
no.
Well, except for they mutate.
Okay, no.
They mutate.
There's actually not the same.
Offended
First
him.
of all, the reason you notice that Earl is now the main character this time around.
Yes.
He's no longer with Val, who
Right.
actually got married to Rhonda,
Right.
and we would find out later in the series would have a kid.
Okay.
And is it implied that Val stole all the money?
No,
No, he didn't
no,
steal it.
they got gypped
They got gypped.
Oh, okay.
for the arcade
'Cause
machine.
It sounded
Yeah.
like to me because it did not graboid.
Trust me, the arcade. Okay, really?
So what is it you said? Why
Basically,
why do you think that it's not basically the same?
first of all, they hunt them at
They
the
hunted
start.
them? They
No,
hunt
they
them.
did not. They were surviving and trying to run for their lives. In the second movie, they freaking hunt these little
Well,
shits.
that's true, but they eventually do
At the
that.
end of the second, in the end
Yeah.
of the first one, they do
Yeah.
sort of
Only because they have no other options.
No.
These guys have plenty of options now.
Yeah, I still
now that the
think
Mexican military was willing to give them so
basically-
much of what they wanted.
I still think it's basically the same premise, though.
Hold on,
It's just
hold on.
that-
I'm not done yet.
Alright.
Second of all, they set in a different location, Mexico. I think that's pretty cool that they're willing to branch out to
Still in
Mexico.
the desert.
No, valley. It's a lot more grass.
Oh, jeez.
Sorry, I'm gonna be nitpicking.
Okay, but
I'm
you
gonna
know
be nitpicking the
You
hell.
know what though? You nitpicked, what is that? The second one, the Resurrection Day for Independence Day, because it was a lot
Resurgence.
like the first one.
Mm-hmm.
That's because it literally was cut and paste. This one isn't.
I think
Okay.
it is
It
kind
tried
of.
a lot more different.
Okay,
this time
a
around.
little bit.
Not to
yes.
mention-
Love it.
Guess what? Another science that was put into it, archaeology, as well as anthropology. After all, they did discover that the creature was actually here far longer than most other life forms in the world.
Yeah, but they don't ever explain why they just pop out into
Mexico.
They start explaining that
well,
later in the
at
series.
all. Like
Yeah, true. They don't really.
Actually,
they
Why?
give no
Hold on.
backstory.
I'm gonna.
right.
I actually gonna let you guys know they do start explaining that later in every
I've
other
not
film.
seen the fourth Tremors either.
The third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and yes, even the eighth do explain each time a little bit more of the backstory of the grandmas.
All
I'm
right.
not even joking. It's
I know
actually
it.
super strange.
We watched last time we did our it was just
We
you and
only
I
watched the
last
four.
time.
We
did
never
one
watched
through
the fifth.
four. We did 1 through 4.
Yeah, we never did the fifth, sixth, seventh, or eighth. I'm the one who did all those,
Okay.
which was torture.
I'm gonna say this 9 though for the story because I
Nine for the
think
story.
there is to me I think it is, but I still liked it, so it didn't matter really.
Don't either.
For me, there was enough that they changed. They changed enough to really make it its own film, while
Okay.
still paying a lot of homage to the original. Because you do have to deal with the graboids now that they're on the surface and are literally hunting you down.
Okay, I'm gonna
With
say
those screechers, I think they're called, right?
the little baby
Yeah, I think
they
they're
look
called
like
screechers.
wind-up monsters, that hop,
Mm-hmm.
little wind-up.
I also think that it's actually kind of that. I also think that it's pretty cool. They brought back
Welcome
one.
back, B. Gardner.
Yep, good to see you again,
Hi.
B. Gardner. Also, I really do love how they did bring back Bert, because of him,
I agree.
this franchise has survived.
Yeah, but they sort of make it present it like you should know the characters already. They don't give you a whole lot of back history.
Yeah, you have to watch the first movie if
Right.
you want to understand it.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
say 6
For
For the
character-
story,
for the
Story?
Jesus Christ, what's wrong with you?
It's a rehash.
I
I'm
agree. I agree with
For me, I'm gonna
Billy
give it.
Petal on this one.
For
I
me,
know you don't agree with us, but that's okay.
For me,
We
I'm
can
gonna
agree
give
to
it.
disagree.
I'm gonna give it a 9 as well. Yeah, unfortunately it is, but here's the thing. If you've already watched the first movie, it's not that hard to understand the
That
second.
1 point off
Yeah,
is
but you're expected to have watched it. You know what I'm saying?
True.
That 1 point off is just because I really do think
I
that.
feel like Independence Day, the second one, did the same thing.
Yeah,
If you're
sure.
expected to have seen
Yeah.
the first one. You're
Yeah.
not really.
Yeah,
A lot of sequels do that. They're all like, "Why are you here if you're
that's
not?"
kind of why I gave it a 9, is because it's
Yeah.
a little bit that kind of the same.
I'm gonna agree
idea,
with you
but-
on that one. That if it was gonna be its own movie, then maybe it would have been easier. But it is a sequel, so it does get at least some excuse.
Right.
Sequel is a sequel is a sequel.
Right.
Exactly.
Same
You
recipe.
have to know at least the first film if you want to understand the second,
Right.
and the second if you want to understand the third.
I just find that irritating in any genre. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that basically means you also hate every single sequel because of that.
No, I don't hate them. I just find it irritating that there's not enough information for new viewers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, most
Well,
there are some.
most people will look at the first one and the second one and go, "Oh, gee, I should probably watch the first one before I watch the second one."
Yeah, but if you don't know there's a first one, and
Well, it
you just
usually
stumble
says
across,
2.
Actually, Yeah,
not all
it usually
of them,
that's
though.
true.
Not everyone.
Resurgence.
Right.
Yeah,
look
that's
at I know it was Independence Day 2 Resurgence.
Yeah,
true. But then not all of them
Take a
have.
look at, however,
not
I
all
do
of
see
them
her
do
point.
1, 2,
Look
3,
at
4.
Aliens.
Right.
Yeah.
Aliens did unfortunately is a sequel, but however, unlike other sequels, it did recap a lot of things that happened
It
during the
does.
movie.
Well,
Yeah.
where
They
did
take-
Prometheus come from?
No, don't.
Do you know what
don't
I'm
talk
saying?
about
That's not like a 1, 2, 3,
Prometheus-
4, 5.
All right, I found out that one's
Ugh.
actually technically a separate timeline. I don't know how that works, but
Okay,
whatever.
well, that's what I'm saying, is that
It's
not
a
all of
fucking
them do
mess.
that. So,
No, there's a mess. There's the Legend of Zelda timeline,
all right.
or Kingdom Hearts timeline for that matter. Yeah, I said that. Screw off. I'm kidding. But yeah, I'm gonna complain about the timeline for both those games. It sucks. That's the one thing I'm gonna say about those franchises. Their timelines are just messed up as hell.
Okay, what's next? Character?
We're now doing characters, yes.
I feel
Okay.
like they don't get a whole lot of development. That pisses me off. And
Actually-
I find the acting subpar
I
from
do
the
too.
first one.
I do too.
Actually,
They take the goof meter and just run across naked
okay.
in the grass.
First of all, I'm going to disagree with you.
I'll give it
only
a
for-
7.
I'm going to disagree with you only for a few things. First of all, Burt Gummer himself was always goofy from the start.
He was.
Which, honestly, I think that's the
But-
reason why they wanted him to stick around with the rest of the
I
franchise.
love Bert.
The girl that played, I think she was a little corny.
The blonde.
Yes. I think
the
that
acting is just a little subpar.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of seriousness.
no,
Even when they're trying to be serious,
Yes.
they're goofy.
I agree.
And that's distracting.
That is distracting.
No disrespect, Mr.
Yes.
Retro.
Yeah.
I see you're starting to fume a little.
Very funny. But, however, I do see where you're
agree,
coming
though.
from. But here's the thing. Sorry, that came out of nowhere. Oh.
Bless you.
Oh, that felt weird. If we take a look, you also notice that the female characters in this franchise are either smart and intelligent or completely badass.
Yeah, that's true.
Main leading ladies, like, of course, Reba with Heather Gummer. She was a total badass from
She
the
was
very
badass.
start.
Actually, so was the girl
So
in the
was
first
Rhonda.
movie. Yes.
Rhonda
Yeah,
was
Rhonda,
like,
yeah.
she's a
Rhonda-
This
touch,
one
I
here
liked
is
her.
the second one was just not.
The second
I
one
don't
is
know.
more intelligent than she is more of a
She's
badass.
more of a bookworm than a
Exactly.
word
Yeah.
fighter.
Which honestly is sometimes needed if you want to be able to
That's
have
true.
the intelligence needed for
She's
a
the
crew.
one that presents all the actual plot, with
True.
the science. You know?
Not to mention, she's actually helps out the crew pretty much during the start of the movie and even to the end. So
Yeah. And I
she's
really
more
love-
than she's more than just a damsel in distress in this
She
case.
is,
She,
and I love that
actually
she's
acts like a
she's
son.
got she and
Earl,
Earl. Damn it!
Got
what is
together.
wrong with
I
you?
don't know. I keep wanting to call him Vern. That's
Yeah.
not right.
He needed to hook up with somebody.
Yeah, he needs some play.
He needed
I'm real
some
happy
play.
he gets
So
some
for
play.
once, I'm kind of proud of him for that.
Yeah.
That
Grady.
scene where they're checking
Okay,
each other's butts.
Grady
out,
for
hilarious.
That was hilarious.
Sorry.
All right,
First
so for
it
as
was
much
him,
as
and then it was her.
Right, they're like, "Ooh."
all right, so for as much as I think that Grady's okay, I can see where he gets annoying at the
He's
start of the
so
movie,
annoying.
but you do see him at least trying to develop
He becomes
throughout the second
endearing.
half. Yes, exactly.
Who's Grady?
He's the sidekick.
He's a sidekick
Oh
for
yeah,
Earl.
I kind of
He
like
becomes
him.
endearing
He does
later
become endearing.
throughout the movie. So
Yeah.
it shows that they are giving him a lot of development, which
Yeah.
is more than I can say for most characters in other films, especially for sequels.
Right.
And then, of course,
It's just kind of random that he shows up, though, to Earl and is all like, "Here, let me join you in this,
Actually,
endeavor."
no.
No, it's not.
he
really,
actually
'cause he
explains
was-
he's his biggest fan.
Yes, and
Remember,
he followed
this is
him
when
through
Earl
the
and
whole
Val
thing.
are already
Oh, okay.
famous throughout
Yeah.
the world with
Alright.
the whole graboid situation.
But, he just believes him and goes with him. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
but
saying?
that's
Like,
how. That's like
Trust me, if
anybody,
you were a
like-
big fan of, hey, I know you're a big fan of Panic at the Disco. If you were given a chance to go on an adventure with them, would you?
Yes, of course.
So yeah,
Yeah,
don't
I
even
didn't
try
answer.
it.
I'm not answering that question.
She doesn't
Yep.
have to. I
She
will
doesn't
answer
have to.
for
I,
her.
yeah, exactly. Thank you.
Okay.
But hell, that's basically what's going on with Grady. But you do see him at least developing through the story, and he becomes endearing.
He does.
Throughout,
I'm the
so
one who
that's
said
what-
he becomes endearing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that definitely helps out. And of course, who doesn't love Bird?
I do love Bert.
The only thing that is sad is that, and yes, this happens in the story, that Heather and him divorce, which is actually kind of sad. And the reason why is because World War III didn't happen. It's
was
actually kind of funny.
Like she just wanted him for his warrior skills.
No, I wouldn't necessarily say that. It's more, those two love each other, no question about it. It's
Right.
just, I think she just got sick and tired of the whole thing.
Living in the desert.
No, I think it's more that she
Armageddon.
got the whole
Prepping.
Armageddon speech,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah, the
thing.
prepper thing.
Yeah, that would get old. Pretty
Yeah,
quick.
really old.
Especially with peacetime at this point,
Right.
because this takes place after the Cold War had officially ended in '91. So,
A little
Okay.
bit of history.
Yeah.
so basically,
Oh.
it makes sense, honestly, why she would get annoyed after a little bit. Or at least that's what I believe.
Oh, Ozenstring wants you to know that he's going to joining Discord after the stream.
Or no, you'll be joining for the next episode. Actually, you'll be here next Saturday if you guys want to. And actually, if B. Gardner wants to join in as well, I'll send in a friend request link on my particular.
What's next weekend?
We have a video game. I'm hoping that they're willing to give it a try. We're gonna do more of a classic video game this time.
Oh,
Cool.
bizarre.
Nice.
So
That'd be cool.
yep. So when it comes down to it, what would you guys say for characters for a number?
7.
7 on this one. She's really torn now.
7.
I gotta give it an 8.
Okay.
I actually give it an 8 because yes, some of the other characters unfortunately are basically just meant to die.
That's true. And they're not given a lot of character development or lines.
So in this particular case, yeah, I would say that. But the rest of the characters are so endearing, you kind of just forget about them anyway, which shouldn't be the case because
I don't think they're as endearing as the first movie by far.
First
Exactly.
one's my
With-
absolute favorite.
Yeah.
yeah, with the first movie, all the characters are endearing, even those that are basically just there to die.
Yeah.
Where these ones, you could definitely tell when some of them are just meant to die in the story and
Oh
the
yeah,
others
because
aren't.
they're fodder. They're cannon fodder. Straight up.
Now let's go on for music. And yes, I'm gonna straight up say it. The music is actually some of the songs in the that they use for the film.
Sorry.
Yeah, she just had a Ricola.
Sorry.
Hey, I have one too, so don't feel bad. I do like some of the.
Struggling here.
I do love some of the music they chose for some of the background music. Like, remember when the Graboid literally eats the radio and you're hearing
Oh, that was funny.
country song while
And
they
it,
were
like,
being dragged off? They're like, "Oh Jesus!"
Right. I love that they're like, where is that music coming from? It's
And they're like,
sudden
"Oh,
realization.
well, shit."
It's
well,
like
we're in
it's sort
trouble.
of a. I think like it's a little nod to Jaws because you know how that dun 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 dun, dun you know, right?
However, in this time,
That's
it
the
definitely
country
makes it more
music.
funny, which I
It's
think this is what the
hilarious.
movie was trying to be
Right.
a little bit more lighthearted than the original. Because
That's true.
when it starts out, it's mainly them hunting the Graboids, so it's not entirely in that situation.
Right.
Heck, they're getting paid $50,000 for literally killing each one. That's a lot of
Yeah,
moolah.
but I have a question. Do they have to prove it? Do they have to have guts for everyone? to,
No,
like,
trust me,
count?
the explosion marks will count.
Oh, okay.
The way they do it is that they use
Well,
little
and
race
all they
cars.
have to do
Someone's
is
going to
drive
invest
along and see. Okay,
the
there's a
holes.
big splatter nastiness. There's a big splatter
Exactly.
nastiness.
So it's implied that someone will be surveying to prove their kill count.
Once they arrive there, yeah, after
Okay.
all of them have been killed. This, of course, counts the Screechers that they murdered as well.
Right.
Jesus Christ, how much money did he think they got for that?
There was a lot of them. I love the little gremlins nod with the food. That was pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
That was hilarious. You know how
Um,
like if you eat, they were eating every time they ate. They produced asexually.
produce
again?
asexually, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
that was cool.
Still, what do you guys think of the music, though, for this film, honestly?
I didn't really notice it.
I didn't either.
I actually thought some of the music was pretty cool, but
How do
the
you
rest of it
score
was...
it when you don't notice it?
I'm gonna give it like a 3.
Ouch.
I'll probably give it like a 5 because I really didn't notice it either.
For me, I'm going to say a 7 because there are a couple of tracks in there that are very funny, like, of course, the
That's
song
true.
with the Tremors
Yeah.
creature.
That okay? I'll give it a 5.
All right.
For
Yeah,
that.
like, so I am gonna give it maybe a 6 because I think there are a couple that are good, but the rest of it is unfortunately.
Yeah, they
forgettable.
could have done better.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
so
just doesn't stand out.
yeah, it doesn't stand out like the original Tremors movies did.
Nope.
Next, of course, is well, design. All right, this is actually where I have to say they really upped their game on this one. First of all, they still use practical effects for a lot of the stuff they did, but you could definitely tell the CG.
Yeah,
The CG is only when those little screechers are moving around.
yeah, and it's
Other than-
distracting.
Other than that, but however, that's kind of understandable because it's no longer Graboids underground, so they still use practical effects for the Graboids.
Right, that's true.
And of course, when they do have the screechers like tied up and everything, that's all practical, including when they're inside the cage. So it shows that they are still using practical effects.
Right.
The only CG they ever really use is when they're moving around, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, but it's distracting.
It is a little distracting, unfortunately, because again, it's early '90s CG.
Right.
And heck, at least they tried to use CG more for the actual look of the creatures rather than the guts and everything else. Because
That's true.
from
I'm
the
gonna
blood
say
and viscera is actually practical.
I'm gonna
That's very
say 8.
All right, you're gonna say 8. Also, I love that they use actual explosions. They actually blew up a building that size with 2 tons of explosives, by the way.
That's crazy.
And they actually were there videotaping
I thought
the
it
whole
was
damn
hilarious when Bert came with that big huge truck with like all
right,
that
fully
ammunition.
loaded.
All the
Holy
oh
sweet
my God.
Jesus,
And then he's
yes.
all like, I am out of
Hold on,
ammo.
hold
Yeah.
on,
It's wild.
hold on. You said what score? 8?
8, yeah.
Yeah, I do love the scene where he brings in this truck, and oh my god,
So
that's
much
basically that is
explosives.
every gun that's wet dream.
Yeah.
Good lord,
No,
the amount of guns
I'll
are
give
in
it a
there
7.
and bombs.
I'm
I
gonna give it a
love
7.
it. You guys say 7?
Yeah.
For me,
Like
I also.
Anaconda.
And yes, I am gonna straight up say it. I do love the scene where he does return, and he's basically explaining the whole damn situation, and to finally say, which honestly still shocks me even to
It
this
is
day,
shocking, yeah.
I am completely out of ammo. And he just sits down. And he's like,
That's
"That's
never
never
happened to
happened
me.
before."
I don't know how it happened with as much as he had in there.
Like
Right.
seriously, the fuck. The only thing he had in there was explosives. That's pretty much it. Just bombs.
Well, he had some guns. He had that big silver gun and that.
That was the only thing he had.
and then
Nothing
he handed
else.
Out, he
He was
handed out shotguns to the other guy, everybody else.
no. Those guys already had guns.
Oh, I thought he handed.
No,
maybe-
those 2 had guns with them
yeah,
in the truck.
he did hand out a couple.
Yeah, he gave them guns beforehand when they were traveling around. But yeah, they had guns with them at that point. But basically, these guys literally nearly ran out of all that freaking ammo. It's unbelievable. Facts about graboids: 1, they're blind, and 2, they hear vibrations. 3, they swallow you whole like anacondas. Understandable, yeah. Pretty accurate. But if you look at the screechers detect through heat. They don't hear or they don't smell. It's mainly due to this organ that's on the top of their heads that detects heat. So all they have to do, and it's almost like thermal vision. So it's pretty interesting to see how they evolve.
That's a cool aspect, the metamorphosis.
Mhm.
Yeah,
factor.
even-
that was surprising.
Yeah, even for me, that's really shocking because most horror monsters you see, they normally stay the same. They don't normally change too much.
Right.
So for them to literally show the evolutionary process of these creatures is actually pretty cool.
It is.
Almost has a sense of Darwinism in a way.
That's a nice twist in the story. That's
So-
a unique aspect of it.
So I'm gonna give it a 9 just for the creativity alone with the creatures themselves.
And this is for design.
Yeah. You already gave it a 7. She gave it an 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's fair. I
Now
just
we're
don't
gonna
feel
go
like
with
the-
atmosphere.
I don't feel like the environment doesn't draw you in as much as the previous sets.
For atmosphere, okay, atmosphere is definitely you can definitely tell they went more lighthearted on this one.
Silly.
But you can still feel the horror in some situations, especially when those creatures are trying to go after them.
I'm not sure I'd classify it as horror. More like action.
It's more
Suspense.
action based, yeah. You can definitely tell it's
Yeah.
more of an action film than it was a
It's like horror.
horror nowadays.
Comedy horror.
Yeah, comedy horror. Horror.
I wouldn't say it's comedy horror. I think it's more action horror. You can definitely tell there's a lot of
But it's goofy.
explosions, a lot of gunfights.
Coac order.
But basically, I'm just trying to say it's not entirely a bad atmosphere. It's one that really definitely makes you enjoy the movie.
Yeah.
Rather than you basically focusing on anything
Well, I liked
horrific.
it better than I thought I was going to like it.
Same
Yeah,
here.
you were very surprised.
Yeah. I'll give it an 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10 for that one. I'm going to give it an 8 as well. It's a very fun feeling when you have to see these guys actually hunting them down for a change.
Well, and I think that their excitement and eagerness to, blow these things up and
Right.
to conquer them and to
Finally get back
make
at
that
for all the
money
people that
and
died in the
find-
first movie.
Right.
somehow locate a live one. And
Right.
I thought it was, pretty good.
Mm-hmm. So it shows that the movie does really good in some areas, yeah. So
Right.
I'm willing to say that. What about you?
I'm gonna give it a 6.
You gonna give it a 6?
Just because I find the silly factor distracting, like it took me away from the story a couple of times. I really like when, what is his sidekick's name?
Grady.
When he's like, don't you feel sorry for it?
Somebody's
you know, how they both feel
at our
kind of
door.
sad.
Huh?
Somebody's at our door. There's 2 people.
I'll check it. Give me a second, everyone. But how about you guys talk about... all right, here's the Retro Evolution.
Oh, I think it's Donnie.
Oh, here's your Retro Evolution. And I want you guys to figure this out. What if you were to direct these movies, what would you change about them and why? Since you guys never gave a 50 score on all of them.
Okay.
So explain it to them.
Okay.
If
What would you
there-
change?
What would I change? I'd make it a little less funny.
A little less silly.
A little less silly, yeah, probably.
I'd do my best to get Kevin Bacon back because I felt like
Yeah.
we were such a good team.
Yeah, I agree. I liked
I
Kevin
think Grady
Bacon.
could work into that, you know, be part of the trio. You know?
Oh, yeah, totally.
Yeah, definitely. I think I would give a little more character development in the second movie for sure. Just introduce people a little better, like,
Give him some kind of back.
yeah, a little more, a little
bit
more depth.
Yeah.
You know.
How did the old man die in the power line thing in the first movie?
Oh.
He dehydration, I believe, is what it was, right?
Right, because he got stuck up on the tower.
Yeah, and he
'cause
wouldn't
it
come
kept trying
down,
to
so
eat him
he basically just became dehydrated. And he's in the desert, so it's
pretty quick.
pretty quick, yeah.
Yeah.
It wouldn't take long for that to happen.
Right. Absolutely.
So,
I don't think I'd change anything from the first movie. I think they did
no,
that really well.
yeah, I
I
agree.
think if there's anything I would change.
No, I don't think so either.
But it's just
I
really,
liked all the characters,
Yeah.
and like you said, even that teenager, it was almost necessary because you needed a little bit of that,
relief,
yeah,
comic relief.
comic or annoying relief.
Right.
Yeah.
Because, you know, somebody would be obnoxious, you know?
Of
So,
course.
That's just human nature.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
definitely.
I don't think that, like, in the second one, you know, it's like really quickly, oh, here, I'm a scientist and I know all this stuff about it, you know, with is her name Kate? They didn't give, like, a whole lot of, like, it doesn't explain where the hell did these thingies come from, like, why did they suddenly pop up in Mexico?
Right.
What, you
Other
know?
than they migrated.
Right. I mean, that's a pretty far trek to go unnoticed.
Well, I don't know though, because the first first movie was set in where?
Perfection.
It was probably like New Mexico.
I thought it was Texas. for
Is
some reason.
where's Perfection supposed to be located?
Nevada.
Okay,
Oh,
so
okay.
Nevada's
That's
not
that
very far from Mexico,
It's not
so
that
I could
far.
see them migrating.
That's true.
Yeah, that far. Plus, it's I mean, there's a lot of desert between there and
That's true.
Mexico, so.
I think the only thing I would change for the second one was give it a little more character development, a little less silly factor.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Take itself a little bit more seriously in this
Right.
case.
Yeah.
I think I would show a little bit more to convey that you're in Mexico. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like a little bit of, you know, landmark kind of
True.
something or other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because it's not in the middle. It's not supposed to be like the middle of nowhere. Like perfection, is conveyed as, you know, the middle of nowhere.
Right.
So you don't have to have like, you know, landmarks to convey it. It does it itself. But
Yeah.
the fact that they're like, oh, we're in Mexico, it doesn't look too much like Mexico to me.
For me,
Maybe Mexico in the desert, though. I've never been.
True.
I don't know that
Touche.
much about Mexico in the
Touche.
desert. I mean, when I think of Mexico, I think of tropical, you know, and on the beach, and you know,
Yeah.
Cozumel, and you
Yeah.
know,
That's
Puerto
what- yeah.
Vallarta.
Or
and-
some of the like the ruins. That would
Yeah.
that would have been bitchin' if they'd gone to the ruins. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
for me, I definitely would change mostly the soundtrack.
The ruins, they would
Oh,
like
that's
totally
true.
screw up the ruins, though. That
That
would
would be trippy.
it'd
I mean,
be
it'd be
sad,
very
though.
upsetting.
For me,
Very
I
upsetting.
would change a little bit of the soundtrack mainly, and the rest of the movie's fine personally.
Right.
Yeah.
But
I like
yeah,
the-
if
I
they
like the
decide to
going back.
change the atmosphere to more of an action comedy in this case instead of the horror, I think it definitely would have worked just as well.
Right. I would like it to be a little more tense, a little more scary,
Yeah.
rather than goofy.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And as for me, with Tremors 1, I think it's perfect. It
I do
doesn't,
too.
doesn't
Nah,
necessarily
I
need
love
any
it.
changes
Yeah,
at
we
all.
wouldn't change anything with that.
I do love the ground wave thing.
Yes, me
Stream
too.
brought it up. That's bitchin'.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's very true to the character of the monster.
Yes.
It's its own thing.
Yes.
You know, that's cool.
Yeah.
That was really creative.
It's like its signature.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
You know exactly what you're dealing with if you see the Earth moving the way it is.
Right.
Right.
And I love the underground shots, like
Yeah.
you had mentioned, Puganator.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's
Yeah.
like with Jaws. I feel that's very on par.
When it comes down to it, it's a really good movie overall.
Yeah.
All right, so we have, of course, a few questions for BilliePetal and Puganator2020 and myself. We're going to do 3 each. That way, it'll be much easier to maintain, and that we don't have to keep asking questions overall. So, first question is, we're going to start with BilliePetal first. We're going to start with her questions. We're going to go to Puganator afterwards, and then we're going to go to myself. And I think there's one question for all 3 of us.
Okay.
All right, so first is the first question is, if you were to had a choice of taking any of the characters from the first movie out, who would they be?
Out. Ooh.
Like, take out of the movie, like either kill them in the movie or just take them out altogether.
Oh wow. I think it would change the whole vibe. It would be interesting if you killed off like either Earl or Val, because they're like, you're so endeared to them by the
I would never do that.
I wouldn't do that, but I'm just saying, like, from that perspective, that would have been interesting.
For me,
but I wouldn't take anybody.
if I were to personally say so, I would actually love to see Melvin die, only because I would love to see the reactions of everyone else.
That's who I was gonna say. Either that or
dark.
Pogo Stick Girl.
Oh
but
my God.
I don't want to do that though, because I remember what
Pogo
the
Stick
whole
Girl had,
premise.
like 6 lines. in the
Well,
whole
I know,
movie.
but the whole point was when she was when they discovered that it was sound, vibration and sound,
Right.
that she was pogoing around when he went after her and grabbed her. and
Yeah.
pushed-
That was
I
so
think
heroic.
yes, I think
Oh,
that was
dear.
necessary. Whereas Melvin,
He's a shit.
he's a shit and he needs to go. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
All right, so here's your second question. When it comes down to the practical effects for the film, what did you think about the first and second movie? Do you think the practical effects are pretty decent, or do you think that maybe they could have improved the design of the creatures a little bit more?
In the first movie, I think it's awesome. It's perfect. It looks like a real creature.
I think
the
even the
viscera
second
is
one too.
spectacular.
I think the second one too, and the fact
The
that
blowing
they
up factor in the second one definitely is awesome.
Yeah.
But I feel like when the little little screamer guys are walking around, they just look silly. I mean, they're very unique.
the idea
but
of it mutating into the screamers is interesting.
It is.
But they're
Practically,
actually
they look a little silly.
yeah.
They look like a little short man hopping around in an
Yeah,
outfit
yeah.
to me. So I would improve on the practical, just that one aspect. The when they get blown up and the viscera is flying everywhere, that is so disgusting. They did so good with that.
Oh yeah, they did.
I just, that one towards the end scene where they're all walking around, it just looks terrible to me. So
Yeah.
I would invest more money in that.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I think that the design is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
I have an allergy pill for you upstairs.
Yeah, I'm gonna need one after this. I'm even thinking of maybe doing the stream a little bit shorter for the Smash Bros. Here's your third and final question for BilliePetal. If you were given a chance to design a new evolution for the creature, what would you change about it?
Ooh. I like the idea of a monster morphing into human form so that they blend into society and can take over from that.
That's kind of scary.
That's what I do. Yeah. Because it's creepy.
That is
AF.
creepy.
Yeah. I think I would
That's
just
actually really
improve the,
interesting,
I just make them more like, I can't think of another word than erect, which is an intense word to use, for the screamers, I would make them a little bit more human-like, for sure.
I think for me, if I were to try to maybe change them, I think I would definitely go for more of a snake style.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, now Puganator. For the Tremors movies, how would you scale it compared to other horror movies that you know of at this point? Would you really consider it to be a scary movie?
I don't know.
Or would you consider it to be more of an action-packed movie?
I think it's like an action thriller to me.
And if you were to
Like a
scale
horror
on scariness,
With
what
the-
would you, for the first movie, what would you scale it up to from a scale of 1 to 10? Being 1 being just absolute crap, and
Of
10 being just
scary?
absolutely horrifying.
Oh gosh, no, it wasn't horrifying at all. Probably like a 3 because it's not horrifying at all. It's just it's actiony and it's kind of graphic and kind of gross, but I wouldn't.
It's got the monster vibe. That
It's
monster
got a
element.
monster vibe, but that's
not
not even
horror.
really scary.
It's not horror. Yeah.
You know, the whole worm idea is just not scary to me, I guess. So
The way you get killed though is pretty terrifying. 'Cause
Yeah,
being buried
that-
alive is
true.
not fun.
true.
Being sucked under like that.
Yeah, that's true. That's the only part of it that makes it creepy, though.
Yeah. Okay, here's your second question. Your second question is, if you had a chance to select a different location for the Tremors movies, what would you select? Where would you put it at? Because we've already, I'm going to let you guys know
An
this.
island.
That technically, they've already done the Arctic.
Touché.
An island.
An island?
That's
What are you going to
dark.
do? Jaws versus Graboids?
No, but the
Actually,
thing
that'd be
is,
pretty
it's
freaking cool.
in a controlled environment, and if it goes it can only really go so far.
True.
Yeah, but so can the person trying to escape.
Yeah, but that's what makes it so much more challenging.
Oh, I see. That's dark.
Yeah.
For what it's worth, yeah, I'm with her on this one. It definitely. It would make things a lot worse.
That's vicious.
And finally, the third question for you: that would you put this film in your top 10 favorite horror films list, or would it be somewhere
It would be
as
in
an
a
honorable mention?
It would be under a different category other than horror.
So you would mainly put it as maybe an honorable mention at most.
Probably. But only because we're talking horror, though. I don't consider it horror.
You don't consider it horror,
No, really.
even though it technically fits in the genre.
It's true, but
I
it's
think it's
to,
like a subgenre.
to me. Yeah, it's more of a it's more sci-fi almost.
That's true.
So
yeah,
science
it's not
fiction
really.
horror.
Yeah, yeah.
Sci-horror.
Sci-fi. Yeah. I don't consider it straight up horror. It doesn't have that vibe at all.
She's
to
like
me.
a perfectionist over here. She's a connoisseur.
Well, I like horror.
That makes you be yourself.
Yes, you will be joining you'll be joining next week's stream for Retroactive's Corner. Don't worry, I'll let you know after.
Got your back, yo.
Yeah, I'll let you know the situation, what's gonna happen. Okay. All right, so I got 3 questions for myself, and as usual, I get the tougher ones. Damn it. If I was given full control of the particular creature, they asked me, what would I try to do to make the creature a lot more horrifying? Honestly, it's really tough. The concept of being buried alive is definitely already a huge fear amongst some of the public.
Yeah.
Most of the public, if you think about it, because being buried alive is not necessarily fun.
No. In certain circles, but you know.
Yeah, but very rarely.
No.
When it comes down to what I can improve, I think I would try to maybe. Honestly, I don't think I really could improve the creature itself in the
Give
first
it
movie.
a lot of teeth like a shark.
Oh, that's dark.
Okay, so we're going basically Metal Shark from James and the Giant Peach.
Oh, kind of.
That was creepy.
That would be
That
worse.
was disturbing.
And here's the sad thing:
Especially since you're
Yu-Gi-Oh
floating on a
already
beach.
created this called Dungeon Crawler. It's a worm that actually has teeth like that. So yeah, I don't want that thing ever showing up. But yeah, I think that is a great improvement personally. The second question was, if you were to add any other actor to join in the movie, who would fit very well into this film?
BilliePetal wants Val to come back.
Yes. Val. Say Val.
Shut it. First of all, for the newer films, it would be interesting to see him come back.
That would be.
But the question was, who would I add to the first movie?
Ah, okay.
And honestly, that's really tough. Because there are a couple of actors I think that could fit very well in that particular scenario. Michael Clark Duncan, of course, is a great actor. And I think in a way he has done a very friendly townsperson before. He's done it before in several films.
Who's he?
He's the guy in The Green Mile.
I love him.
Yeah.
I was thinking.
Oh,
I think he could do very
I was
well in
thinking
that.
Indiana Jones.
you wanna, like,
Harrison
more-
Ford?
Yes, I was thinking Harrison Ford.
It would be nice to see some more diversity for sure.
That's the reason why I said Michael Clark Duncan, because he was a very good actor. Of course, he passed away.
I
sad.
loved him.
Oh,
But-
so sad.
Yeah, he's
The
a great
Green
actor.
Mile
He
Man.
could
Oh,
have done
like guts you.
Yes.
he could have done
That's good.
extremely well in the film. Personally,
Yeah,
for
he
me,
could've.
I think he would have done incredibly well. The other one, and this is mainly to have just another old timer in the group, Morgan Freeman.
I love Morgan.
I love him too.
Freeman.
So
Oh, that'd be
honestly,
cool.
those two would have been my personal first choices.
That's true. That's a good choice.
But other than that, though, I think one other character actor I would say to bring in, and it's mainly if you are going to go more of a comedic route, Robin Williams
Oh.
or Gene Wilder, one of the two.
Oh my God, I love Gene. That would be cool.
But yeah,
I can't see those two in the movie, but that's okay.
that's just mainly just to add the comedy part.
Right.
But if we're adding character and actual characters that could actually help out with the crew, Michael Clark Duncan and Morgan Freeman
I
easily.
like Michael. I can see Michael in this
Yeah.
so easily.
And same
Yeah.
with Morgan Freeman. I could see him in it too.
Well, no,
'cause
he's distracting because he's such a well-known. You know what I mean? But
Mhm.
well,
However,
they
the
both
reason
are.
why he
They both
actually
are,
wasn't
but-
in this film is I think he was working on Shawshank Redemption at the time. So, makes
Yeah,
sense.
That does make sense.
Trying to think. I think the last question, I think that was my last question.
It can be your last question.
I'm trying to remember the last one. I swear to God, I swear if I meet that person again, they're going to kick my butt. Oh, there we go. Just remembered it. Oh, they're just calling my cat. Hey there, sweetie. If I was given a chance to kill off any characters for the film to make it more of a horror-based thing or not, who would I choose? Oh, that's really tough for me because if I'm going to choose three, and this is only because I think it would make the story even more horrifying, to give a lot more despair, kill off Rhonda and Val.
Yeah, that would be really shocking.
Because think about it, those two, along with Earl, are the most integral parts of the team because they're the ones that are mainly lead and actually keep everyone focused on the task in hand.
I can imagine.
Having them dead would actually make things worse for the group and could actually cause more of a panic. Even Earl can't do everything himself.
That's true.
And the other two characters, I would actually, and I really hate saying this because I do love these two a lot, Bert and Heather Gummer.
Mm-hmm.
If they somehow died in a sacrificial way, killing the last two graboids.
That's true. That would be really shocking because they're so well prepared for battle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So for
That
them
would
to
be
die
like,
would have
That
been
would be
one
like
hell
a
of a
total
like.
shock.
It would.
Exactly. That would be my way of making the film more of a horror film in this case.
Yeah.
Having them eliminated. But I do like that this film is unique for having more survivors this time around than in other horror films.
Right.
Hell, and yes, I'm going to spoil this for you. Miguel does die in the third film.
Oh.
Damn.
He actually fights back with Bert and the others. And unfortunately, the reason why he dies is that he gets lifted up by one of the ass blasters and is dropped on his head.
Ew. Yikes.
It's really sad. I personally wanted that character to live.
Oh.
And everyone in the cast takes it hard.
Oh.
So, it definitely shows on that. But, yeah. Those are the three I would definitely go for. And now time for our group question. And I swear to God, this group question was an interesting choice.
He needs allergy meds.
You can tell, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are your ears plugged?
Yes.
Yes, I can tell. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I have my ears plugged. I'm sorry. The allergies are going out of control. Normally they're not like this.
I'll get you some as soon as we're done.
Oh, hey there, sweetie. Come on, up.
The screen is frozen.
Hold on.
It's alright, we're almost done.
Yeah, give me a second. Hold on. Give me a second. Come here, sweetie.
Yeah, my screen's dead too.
Yeah, it does that sometimes. You may have to reload it. Come here, you little bro. Come here.
Okay, what's the last question?
The last question is for the group. If you were given an opportunity to, which movie would you end the Tremors series on?
2.
1.
I would.
Sorry.
If I'm gonna say anything, I would say 4, because 4, in a way, is more of a prequel since it's set in the 1800s, but it is in a way a great way of showing the origin story of those creatures and how
Actually,
they end
I
up
might
in
have
Perfection
to watch
Valley.
3 and 4 just to
All right, well, you do that.
Where three feels like the conclusion to Perfection Valley's whole situation.
Right.
Oh.
Okay.
Where
See, that's what
4,
I'm saying.
Yeah.
for 4,
Just
it's a
for shits and
prequel
giggles.
that gets everything in Perfection Valley started, including how it got its name. Because technically, the original town name was called Rejection.
Punny.
So they turned the town name into Perfection in the end.
That's funny.
Yep.
I like it better because it's,
Heck, even Walter
community is
Walter
perfect.
Chang's, I think his niece takes over the store in the 3rd
Oh,
movie.
that's lovely.
Yeah, we should watch it.
I've
just for the
seen
heck
those
of it.
movies. I saw 1 through 4, and I don't remember any of 3 and 4.
I do remember all
Nothing.
4 movies.
Nothing.
That's the reason why I don't remember anything in the 5 through 8, because I hate them so much. Trust me, if we did a review on those, I'd be absolutely tearing those things to shreds.
Right.
But that's also the reason why I love 1 through 4, because it could have been far worse.
That's true.
So, yeah, I want to thank you all so much for joining me here today, and I'm really happy that I finally got to review these movies. I've been hoping for this damn thing for a while,
Yeah.
so
It's a family tradition.
Yeah.
Trailer.
Thank you for having us too.
yeah.
B. Gardner
Um,
and Ozenstring. So it's nice to.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice to chat with you guys.
Yeah.
Next week we're gonna be doing a review of a video game trilogy. It is gonna be Super Mario Brothers 1, 2, and 3,
Holy
the original
smokes.
NES,
Woohoo!
which I just now happen to
Bam.
own all 3 games on my shelf.
Yay!
If you guys don't believe
Mic
me,
drop.
give me a second. I'm gonna grab them right now.
Mic drop.
Here we go. And there we go. Here it is, Super Mario Brothers 1, and of course the Duck Hunt
Duck
combo
Hunt!
cartridge. I still need to find the damn zapper.
Oh, sorry.
I need to find that and a CRT TV. That's what I need to find.
I
Super
don't
Mario
remember
Brothers
seeing
2, of course, right here. Super Mario
It's one
Brothers
of my
2.
favorites. I love that one. It's so
And of
blue,
course,
you know?
Super Mario Brothers 3.
clouds.
Actually, technically, before we continue with 3, this is actually based on Doki Doki Panic in Japan.
Seriously?
Yes, that's the reason why.
Did they steal
And they
it?
covered
That
no,
is messed up.
no. Doki Doki Panic was an NES game. It was on the Famicom. They just put Mario and all of his friends on it and just made it Super Mario Brothers 2.
That's wild. That's my favorite one.
The real Super
Exactly.
Mario Brothers 2, and you guys have seen me play, it's on the All-Stars pack. It's called Super Mario Brothers The Lost Levels.
Oh my god.
And they're the most difficult levels you'll ever play on an NES game. It's the reason why that they thought we Americans were too stupid to play them,
Oh,
so they
sad.
gave us this.
Sad,
But luckily
sad.
enough, they re-released it on the All-Stars pack. But then, of course, we finally have, of course, Super Mario Brothers 3 right here. So we're going to be reviewing all 3 of the original Nintendo Entertainment System games. I'm actually really excited. And, of course, the week after that, we're going to be doing a review of the original 2 Legends of Zeldas. Legend of Zelda, the original, and Adventure of Link. And I'm going to have my buddy Rye Guy join me for that one. And maybe even Odessa,
Oh,
one
that
of my
would be
cousins. Maybe we might be able to get her
She's,
into
like,
a call.
fierce.
Might be able to get her into a call, have her join in an episode for the Legend of Zelda, since I know her. She's my cousin, but she's also a big fan of Legend of Zelda. So I think
Obsessed.
I already know she's gonna flip out when she finds out I have the
She'll love
second
it.
game
She's
and
so
the first.
excited.
So, but
My
yeah,
sister-
look,
My sister has the Triforce tattooed on her back, by the way.
lucky.
I know. She's a bad.
But yeah, look forward to the next review being about the original 3 Mario games. And of course, the week after is that we're going to be doing Legend of Zelda. And for a movie review, I'm gonna actually save the fly for October, because as you guys know, I've let you guys know that in the month of October, it is the month of horror.
Okay,
We're gonna be doing horror games as well as horror reviews.
Why don't we let us think on it as far as the next one?
Are we doing the thing?
Yeah, you guys are gonna be choosing the next review. We're gonna save the fly for the first week of October, on the first Saturday of October. And then the next one will, of course, be The Thing. The original
We still
and
got to
remake.
do Rocky Horror Picture Show too.
Rocky Horror Picture Show will be next, along with, of course, the It original miniseries and the remake.
Oh, those were fun.
Oh yeah, those are.
So we'll be doing those ones as well. And finally, to top it all off, the original Evil Dead and the remake of Evil Dead
Oh,
for the
Okay.
final week.
God.
I like both. Will you?
But what movie?
Message me when.
What movie would you guys recommend for the channel now? Because we may have you guys return for the next movie review. So, what movie would you guys want us to review on the channel? It could be animated. It could be live action. It could be superhero. That sort of stuff.
Rocky Horror Picture Show, personally.
He wants to do that in October, I think.
All right. So,
Oh no.
are we saving that for October,
No.
or are we gonna
Oh.
do it sometime in the future, like very soon?
I don't care. That's why I said let's think about it, and you can get back to your people, because that's something I want to think about.
True enough. Luckily enough, we do still have plenty of time on that. So.
Yeah.
So, to recap, next week it will be me, Ozenstring, and one other person. We're going to be doing the original Super Mario Brothers trilogy on the NES. And yes, we'll even be talking about the All-Stars pack, just to give you guys a little bit of a look on the remasters. And of course, the week afterwards, we're going to be doing Legend of Zelda 1 and 2 with myself, Rye Guy, and maybe BilliePetal if she's in. And, of course, my cousin Odessa, if I can get her to join in as well.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Okay.
All right, so to let you guys know on that. And then afterwards, we're going to find out very soon from these two what the movie review is going to be for the next time we do this one. So I'm actually very excited. And, of course, we have the month of horror. We're going to be doing nothing but horror games, as well as, of course, Jennifer's Body. And
Although we could do could you call Legend sort of? It has a
I Am
horror
Legend?
element. No, Legend, just Legend. Tim Curry. I thought
Oh.
we could do a whole theme.
I don't know, maybe.
Legend and
Rocky Horror.
Rocky Horror.
All right, hold on. I just got a message from Disco. You all hate me, don't you?
What?
They freaking suggested I Am Legend. I literally just mentioned
You
that.
hate
And
that movie, so.
here's the thing. I love the book. The movie is shit.
Okay.
But if you guys want me to, I will do that for a future review. Yeah, it's their choice in this case.
Okay, well, let us think about it.
All right, so I want to thank you guys so much for joining me. You guys have any final words?
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for
it was
having
nice
us.
to have everybody
Yeah.
in the chat with us.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I hope you all have an amazing day. I'll see you all next time. And this is Mr. Retroactive signing out.